How do you drop out of a 2-year college? How do you get to the last year and go, you know what? This ain't for me. I don't think this is gonna work out. Dude, you've been here 2 years. What you mean? Why don't you just finish it up? Nah, I don't think there's anything going on for me here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and quit.
If you're living with your parents, it's always good to contribute to the household. Like help, give your mom some money, give your dad some money, hold your parents some money, so that you can learn responsibility. For me, when I was living with my mom, my mom covered everything.
You're listening to the Unignorant Podcast with your hosts, Chris and Akilah Williams, where they're breaking down barriers of ignorance, one episode at a time.
Oh yeah, welcome to the first episode of the Unignorant Podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, Akilah.
Welcome, honey.
We live, we litty, we lit. Does people still say litty?
I'm not sure.
Feel old head right there.
Yeah.
Just showing my age. Yeah, come on, let's go get litty.
Well, I'm excited to be here. Are you excited to be here?
I'm excited
Good.
about this.
Good.
We ready to make it happen and share how we're becoming more unignorant. We've been through a lot, living life.
Yep.
And just realizing as we get older that, we was kind of ignorant. And as you see the title today, we have the regret list, how I would redo my 20s.
Yes.
But, just going back to my 20s, right? And the 20s is very important. And if you're a 20-year-old listening to this right now, man, y'all better listen up.
Absolutely.
Don't look. I sound like, don't be like me. Don't go out there doing them drugs and mess with them girls. You could be better than me.
Yeah.
But in your 20s, personal development in your 20s is so important because it lays down a foundation for your future, your growth, and success. So I think the 20s is the time when I totally blew it.
But not just you. I think that's many people, myself included, we blew our 20s.
But we blew it in different ways.
Yeah, that is true too.
Yeah. Blew it in a different way. Was that your watch?
That was my
Come
watch.
on now. I told you, take everything off, put on airplane mode. We're recording.
Okay, it's on airplane mode. Got you.
Right? So when you want to start it off on one of the ways that you...
No, first we got to talk about how we started this whole epiphany of...
Okay.
Our journey on becoming unignorant.
Okay.
After being married, for a few years, in 2020, everything started. We took a trip during COVID, which we shouldn't have.
That was ignorant.
That's very ignorant.
That was an ignorant move.
But, we were stuck in the house, and then my sister was just like, let's just go see mom, making sure she's okay or whatever.
That's when we surprised her, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Linda James, a.k.a. Mom Dukes, a.k.a. the Jamaican assassin, prayer assassin. You done know.
Prayer warrior, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you done know.
But we went to Texas in 2020, and we just saw some stuff that we're like, people are actually living like this?
Yeah.
And then we came back to Virginia, and we're like, nah, we have to do some stuff differently. We started watching YouTube videos, started grabbing books. We just start learning how we can...
No, don't make it seem like we wasn't reading before.
We were, but we weren't reading the right things.
In 2020,
We weren't reading the things that were going to make our lives better.
Right. So self-development books.
Self-development books.
Books on money and investments.
Exactly.
Things of that nature. Now that we have the knowledge we have today, what would you do differently? How would you change some things? If you had an opportunity, if God said, go ahead and go back, change some things, what would you do?
Well, for me, developing simple, basic knowledge on how money works. Not even the deep stuff. Just in my 20s, I just figured you make money, you spend it all. Right? But if I could just go back and just even learn the basics. For example, budgeting. Create a budget, stick to the budget. Invest and save. Just simple basic stuff, which I never even thought of because, I figured, hey, life will take care of itself. So I don't have to worry about any of that. Just spend. I'm 20, I'm young, just live it up. And we found out that that's not how life works.
Yeah, I think we did the same thing. So I definitely regret not being responsible with money because of lack of financial literacy.
Yes.
Like I did not know how money worked. So I got money. No one told me. My father, and this is a true story. My father told me, when you make money, you have to just save your money. You understand? Just get that and treat yourself. All I heard was treat yourself, and I ran with that. That's it.
But I think that's most Caribbean household though, or
Yeah.
most. And we can only speak from our own experiences. In the Bronx, it's a lot of Caribbean people, whether you're Jamaican, from Barbados, Trinidadian. But we just know work and save your money. They didn't tell you how to save, where to save,
Right.
and or anything else. Just save your money and treat yourself once in a while because you only live once, so you have to treat yourself.
Right. And that is true. Like, okay, save your money. How? How do I save my money? All right. And most people don't know how to save. You might put it away for a good week or so, but if you have a mindset that's a consumer mindset, you're gonna pull that money.
Yeah.
You're gonna touch that money.
Yeah.
Yo, we going out. Oh, word? Yeah, I got some money saved up. Let me go.
And also, if you don't live on a budget, what are you saving? Because if you're spending everything, then what are you really saving?
Right. So I can't even remember a time in my 20s where I saved money. I blew, like, literally, we would get paid. I remember working corporate America, of course, getting paid on Friday, clubbing Saturday, and being broke by Monday morning and asking my coworker, yo, Mark, what's up, man? Listen, shout out to Mark, by the way. Lend me $20. I need to eat. I'm trying to, and he would have his moments where he's like, bro, I blew my whole check. And that's how it was, man, sometimes, which was crazy. I remember getting a bonus check. They fought for us to, now think about it. They fought because at the time I was a temp, right? And I'm going to tell you about some of my other temp jobs that I had later on. I sold drugs, people, but it was like a temp job. For one day. It was like a one-day assignment. It was like I had a temp job as a drug dealer. And I was like, you know what? I saw the cops come around the car. I was like, this ain't for me. I quit. I didn't like it. The benefits weren't good. There was no insurance. There was no 401k. I didn't like it. Had to get the hell out of there. I remember them giving us, now remember, this is I'm not going to get the year, but this is the hip hop era.
Okay.
Right? And they gave us this bonus. $2,000 in an envelope. I ain't never had an envelope with $2,000.
And back then, that was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? Handed me the envelope. I remember he said, Chris, here you go. I was like, thank you, sir. I was like, whoa, the joint was like a pillow. It was like a white pillow he handed me. I was like, oh, snap. I started counting it at my desk. Well, cubicle. Of course, they had it in a cubicle. I started counting this joint. I'm like, oh, 20, 50, 100, $2,000. Now, here's what I did.
What you do, Chris?
I went in. Remember that episode of Mike when Michael Jackson went shopping, and he was like, "I'll take that one. Excuse me, can I have this, please?" That was me in the store with this $2,000.
$2,000.
Yo,
you were completely
honestly, I think that was the first time I bought stuff and I didn't even ask for the price. I was like, "Yo, let me get that right there. Yeah, let me get that one too, and let me get that one in the blue. Thank you." Boom. And I just blew that money
in one day, or just
it wasn't one day. It was probably over a period of maybe a week because, of course, we partied and all that. Okay. So we did a lot of damage. As far as money is concerned. Okay, so some of the things I would do different.
Yeah, what would you do different?
Number one thing I would do with the knowledge I have right now. Now, I was a consumer-minded person, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to always buy and get sneakers and latest clothes, whatever. So I guess my mindset would have to be different, first of all. But one of the things I would do is open a Roth IRA. That's the first thing. And every paycheck, I'd put money in. Now, you can only go up to, I think it's $6,000 this year. It's $6,500.
Okay.
Anybody under 50 years old is $6,500. But I would put it into a Roth IRA and I would invest in either an index, just an index fund. I wouldn't mess around with individual stocks, which we started doing, right? I would definitely do an index fund, and it would be the S&P 500 or it would be the total stock market. So that's now putting my money in each and every stock in the U.S., not international, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's also the S&P, which is the 500, the S&P 500. That's the top 500 companies. So you talk about Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, right? And so Tesla, don't forget Tesla. So my money would be spread out into all of those companies. So that's the number one thing that I would do.
And just to piggyback off what you're saying, that's one of the things also I would wish I could do differently. Like learn about stocks and bonds and mutual funds.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like for example, when we used to be in Manhattan,
right,
we saw all those tickers. Now we know it's called a ticker symbol.
Yeah, now I know it's called a ticker.
But we used to walk past it all the time. And
AAPL. What's that?
I would never stop to think.
Yeah.
okay, what are those symbols? What do they
Right.
mean?
And they have numbers near them. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
There's an arrow going up. There's an arrow. Then some of them are red. Some of them are green.
Yes.
What is that about? And then too, when you're putting your money into the Roth IRA, the average return is anywhere from 10 to 12% on your money, right? So as much as the more you put in, right, the better, and the longer you have your money in there, because there's also a thing called dividends, right? So you're getting paid dividends, and it's also compounding year after year after year. And so the more shares you have, the more you'll get in dividends, right? So that's a good thing about index funds. And then you don't have to worry about timing the market. Like Warren Buffett would say, it's not about timing the market, it's time in the market. And then parents could also open up what's called a custodial. So if you have a young child, you have a young child. Our kids right now have a custodial, both of them. So one is invested in the total stock market and one's in the S&P. And sometimes they got more money than me. I'm like, man, let me $5, bro. Let me.
And one of the things we've been doing too is teaching our children about S&P 500 and the stock markets. When they invest, they actually go in and press the button themselves.
Right.
Like I show them, this is what you have to do.
Right.
This is what you're buying. This is where your money is. This is how it's growing. I show them all that.
Right.
If I ask my kids what is the S&P, they can tell you. If I ask my kids what's the total stock market, they can tell you. They know what they're invested in.
Absolutely.
So it's always good to educate
From young.
children from young.
From young, because we weren't taught that stuff.
No.
What's another thing that you regret?
I would not live with my parents for too long. Some people feel that you should. And here's my take on that. I'm not opposed to living with your parents, until you're established in life. But at the same time, you have to not depend totally on your parents. If you're living with your parents, it's always good to contribute to the household. Like help, give your mom some money, give your dad some money, hold your parents some money, so that you can learn responsibility. For me, when I was living with my mom, my mom covered everything. And that was not good for me. Right. Not say for everybody else, but for me, that was not good because I never learned responsibility, how to parent, how to take care of bills. So when you got older, it became a struggle for me because I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm constantly, oh, mommy, what do I do? Mommy, what do I do? And it's like, no, you have to learn responsibility by doing these things. So there's a thin line between helping your kids and enabling your kids.
Right.
Or having your kids become codependent on you. If your child is working, I say let them pay their own phone bills.
They ain't gonna like you for that one.
It's okay.
It's a bunch of young
I'm
people.
okay with that.
Young people just cut this off.
Take that responsibility. No, if your parents even says, "Oh, I'll cover," the mortgage is covered. Still, okay, mom, dad, I'll take care of the lights. I'll take care of the water. I'll take care of the lawn care. Something so you can learn to develop a sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's a controversial subject because some people feel like, no, why can't I live with my mom? As I said, it's a difference between living with your parents and be codependent on your parents.
See, I think, me personally, I stayed home too long. And that's just because, like you said, mom's is there, she's taking care. Dad was in the picture, and then there was a separation. I stayed at the house too long, and Mom Dukes held it down. But there came a time when Mom Dukes was
She overdid it.
Well, no, she was ready to get some money from me. So I was working now, right? But my problem, I'm spending. I'm out. I'm hanging out. So here's what would happen. I get my paycheck Friday, right? Get my paycheck Friday. And then Sunday, she's knocking on the door. Chris, but you ain't give nothing towards the house. I mean, come on. You have to give something. Now, at this time on Sunday, I already blew my money. So there were times when I did give, but I was hurting through the week, right? Because I was making whatever I was making at the time, But I did not have this sense of, okay, I got paid. Like, let's say I got paid $500. Okay. That was my $500 to go crazy, right? Where it should have been like, nah, I really got $300. I'm going to give Mom Dukes $200. But see, they took and that's why we want our kids from early. Like, my son's 13. Homeboy gonna start paying someone on that phone bill, bruh. He got a phone. He's loving it, playing Roblox and watching YouTube. Yeah, you like all that? You like how the Wi-Fi just goes to your phone? You like how that works? Yeah? All right, we're going to start paying on that, bruh. We're going to start putting a little something towards that.
Right.
But have you, not to cut you, but have you ever met that person, like, they'll tell you, yeah, I've been on my own since I was 11. It's like, and they got it all together.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going out. I got to cook. And you're like, wait a minute.
Let's come. You're not gonna come hang with me.
You're
What do you mean?
22. Like, now I ain't got time for that. See, y'all need to grow up. Like,
Yeah.
you're 22. What are you talking about? I need to grow up. I've been on my own since 9. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah, those people have, so they know responsibility and we're looking at them like they're crazy.
Right.
Like, why don't you when you're young? Come on, let's hang, let's go travel. And they're like, no, but I have bills, because they understood that and we didn't understand that.
Right.
Because we had mommy and we had daddy to say, no, don't worry. Oh, you don't have food? Don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
You don't have train fare? Oh, don't worry, I got you.
What would be something else? I think something else for me. I think you went. So my turn. Let's see. Not traveling more.
Really?
Not traveling more, and then moving out of New York City sooner.
Yes.
Shout out to New York, by the way.
Yes. I would have left New York earlier.
I love New York. Love y'all, you heard? I love y'all, you heard?
Cost of living is real.
But I'm saying, yo, like real talk. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. You feel me? Like,
Cost of living.
Like-
That rent is real.
yo, like respectfully, but yo, New York is not
Nah, bro.
playing, bro.
No.
But I think getting more exposure, because I traveled. Now we did Miami Carnival, but we didn't get out and say, yo, let's go to Europe, let's go to Australia, let's just see the world.
Yeah.
We got dudes fighting for the block. Yo, this is my block. You know what I'm saying? My
You
nigga.
keep that block.
You can have it, bro. Because there's a whole huge world out here. Like, but see, it would take a certain mindset to save your money up. Because we were making money, but you're spending the money on things that you think is valuable, and it's really not. You're blowing your money, right? You're not investing your money. So it would have been cool to save some money up and travel. Go see the world. Go see what else is out there, man. So that's something I wish I did. And then moving out of New York sooner. But that's what people do. People go to college and then they end up, wherever they went to college, they end up moving to. A lot of people do that too.
Or they go to the military and they end up
Right. And living in that city
Yes.
that they went to the military. See, I went to community college. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you ain't gonna laugh at me now. Like,
That's how you
no,
said
hold on. You ain't just gonna just like, cause I just said community college, and you like,
That's how you said go to college. You're like,
nah. I feel like you were laughing at me that
I
went to
was
community
laughing
college.
at you.
And here's what happened with the 2-year community college. See, this is the problem with my life. I'm trying to get it together, right? I was very ignorant. How do you drop out of a 2-year college? How do you get to the last year and go, you know what? This ain't for me. I don't think this is gonna work out. Dude, you've been here 2 years. What you mean? Why don't you just finish it up? Nah, I don't think there's anything going on for me here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and quit. Like, what was that about?
I think it's one of the things with the inner city too. There's no mentors to say, hey, how about trying it this way? Hey, how about you doing this?
Yeah, but who would be the mentor?
So I'm saying there isn't any.
But even if, like, who?
Pastors probably our mentor was our pastor at
Right,
the time.
right.
And, our church leaders. That's about it. But what if the person's not going to church?
True.
There's no resources for a lot of kids in the inner city.
The mentor for the inner city back in the days was the older men in our neighborhood, but they in the same neighborhood we in. You know what I mean? So they needed mentors
To
too.
get out.
Like, yo, young blood, don't be like me. That's all they're gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they needed somebody to say, hey, man, you got to get out.
Yeah.
And then he looks at you and go, hey, you heard what he said? We all need to get out. Like, that's because they all needed mentors too. So finding the right mentor, and then I think parents should be the number one mentor. That's why I'm trying to mentor.
Yes.
We're trying to mentor our kids, trying to tell my kids everything that my parents never did or shared. Like, they're getting more than I ever got.
And they're smart. These kids are
These
so
kids are different,
smart.
bro. We listen.
It's like they're built different.
Listen, we grew up, all right? I grew up with friggin' Bugs Bunny. You understand what I'm saying? Roadrunner and the coyote. Beep, beep. That's all he said. Beep, beep, bro. These kids grew up with Umi Zumi,
Wonder
Pets, Dora.
Barney.
They taught them stuff.
Yeah.
What did you learn from Tom and Jerry?
Nothing. Didn't even talk.
They didn't even listen. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we were robbed, bro. It was a setup. Yeah, watch Tom and Jerry. You're gonna become nice and dumb the way we want you. Like, we didn't learn anything.
Like, why wasn't it a thing for them to say, okay, let's do educational children's
Well,
program.
you had
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers on Channel 13. But come on, we didn't want to watch it all the time. Sesame Street, right? Maybe
A little bit.
The Big Bird. Did they have Sesame? Now, this is an honest question. I don't want you.
Don't try to diss me.
I'm not gonna diss you. No, I'm serious.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know about Sesame Street in Jamaica. No, I
Did
didn't.
they have Sesame Street in Jamaica growing
No,
up.
I didn't. Well, if
They
they
didn't have
did,
a
I
big
wasn't
brother.
aware.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I say Oscar. You don't know. Yeah, mama, they're on Sesame Street.
Well, if they did, I wasn't aware. Okay, I wasn't
They
aware.
have
I was
Sesame
outside
Street.
playing with my friends, so I wasn't aware. I knew you were gonna come for me.
No, like, was there an Oscar, like, in
I don't know.
a Jamaica?
But you know, in Jamaica, you know what I used to watch? Living Color.
Living Color. Okay. Okay, you didn't have Sesame Street, but boy, we had episodes of A Living Color. There we go. That'll teach you a few things. That's good. Get all the kids watching Living Color.
I don't know why I was watching Living Color.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Oh God, that was funny.
That's awesome. That would be funny though. Ernie and Bert as Jamaicans. Yo, I said Ernie. Me don't know. Yeah, I said where you go tonight. Yeah, man. That would be funny. Anyway,
Anyway.
we got off topic right there.
Yes.
Let's get back
So
on the topic.
Another things so let's back on topic. So another thing I wish I had learned or would have known was about credit. Man, my credit score was so shot. It was even funny. I didn't even know there was a thing was credit. Like, it was bad.
I want to share with you
It was bad.
my ignorant story with credit. My mother signed me up for a credit card, okay?
When you were 12?
I think I was like 17, 18. I don't remember the age, but she signed me up and said, Chris, they want to give you a credit card. I said, Mom, I'm not in, well, I do it already. They're going to give you... Yeah, she did it. And they're going to send you a free... There was something they're giving away free. My mother loved free stuff. Anything free, she was...
Oh, yeah. All Caribbean
Yeah,
moms.
they had to take it, right? So, signed me up for this credit card, all right? And it came a day where I had no money. And I was like, man, I said I didn't want this because it came in the mail. And I was like, okay, I'm not messing. I don't know anything about this credit card. But in my mind, it was free money. And that, I know somebody is probably judging, but there's many people
Yes.
who
Yes.
thought when they were younger that this credit card
Was free,
was
yeah.
free money.
Yeah.
And I went and I spent using this credit. I can't even tell you what I bought, right? And who knows where that. Maybe I shouldn't say because I never paid that. Maybe
You can dispute it.
I can dispute that. It wasn't me. It was my mom, brother. I had nothing to do with that. But I really didn't know what credit was about and your credit score. But now
Yeah.
we're at a different place.
Listen, one of my first credit card was a PC Richards and Sons.
Wow.
That's way back. And you know what I use it for? To get an AC for my mom's church.
That's great. Let's give it up for Akila for donating, using her credit for the Lord's house.
But
Amen.
in my mind, it just went off into oblivion. Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's going to take care of, once again, in my mind,
Yeah.
everything's just going to work
free.
out. It's going to take care of itself.
It's free.
And then one day I'm looking, letters are coming to the house. Oh, you owe us. It's like, owe you? When?
Collections.
How I owe you? Didn't know that you had to pay these people back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I would just encourage everyone, please pay your bills in
Yeah.
time.
Take care of your credit. When you get, if I could go back, I would definitely pay the bills on time.
Yes.
And if you do use credit cards, make sure that you pay it off every month.
Yes.
That's the best way to go about
Yes.
it. Paying it off every month. So this way you're not spending
More you can afford.
more than you can afford, right? So just because you have a $4,000 limit doesn't mean you spend $4,000, right? But if you know you could only afford $500 or even $1,000, you spend that amount and make sure you pay it off by the end of the month and never miss a payment,
Oh, never miss
Never miss a
a
payment.
payment.
right? Because right now, okay, my story again. There's a lot of bad, not bad, but there's a lot of like, damn, Chris, how are you even living? You know, it's like my credit score was, what was that, a 4?
You have 461.
Yeah.
When we actually start getting like
Yeah,
serious about our credit,
right.
mine was 523. Yours 451.
451 about, right? Somewhere around there, which is bad. That's considered
bad.
bad credit.
Very bad credit.
That was about 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember trying to get the Discover card. I was like, oh, well, baby, let's try it. Let's go on the computer.
Like,
Discover, right? Discover was like, yeah, you need to discover how to fix your credit. I don't know why you over here right now
apply
trying
for stuff with your
to
bad
apply for no. So today I could say, today, oh my God, I felt
Speak
something
it, my
right
brother.
there.
Speak it. What
Hey.
is your credit score, Christopher? Let the people know your new credit score.
Hey.
Since you've been taking care of your credit, be responsible, paying your bill on time,
My
not
God.
charge you more than you can afford, and keeping the tabs on your credit through different apps and checking your credit report every year and disputing negative things off your credit, Chris.
Jesus.
What is your credit on today?
Jesus. 796. $796. They said black people ain't got good credit. Well, let me let you know.
Fabrication.
That is a damn lie. Listen.
Your credit's higher than mine, and I'm the one who helped you.
I'm sorry if you're not up with me, okay?
My credit's 737, but yours.
Step it up. Listen, if you're not over 750, don't talk to me. Matter of fact, cut your mic off right now. This
But
is
don't worry, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Listen, that's another topic on another time. But listen, this is the 750 club and up. So if you're not in the 750s, baby girl, you ain't ready for me.
And when I hit the 750, I'm gonna come back on this podcast. I'm gonna let everyone know that I hit the 750. Also, one of the things too, as I want to say, when you go to these stores and they say to you, "Oh, if you sign for a credit card,
right,
you can save 10%."
Right.
Do not sign for a credit card at the counter.
Right.
Number one, you can't even read the terms of service and agreements.
That's right.
Right? And the interest rate on that credit card might be so high, it's not even worth the 10% you're getting off.
Right.
So always take your time, go home, research, go online, and then if you want to sign for a credit card, then sign for a credit card. But never at the counter. Don't let them pressure you and just miss some credit.
That happened to me at Best Buy. I was trying to get a laptop. See, you're laughing at me again. See, I feel like all my stories are very ignorant. I'm telling you, it is what it is, right? I try to get a laptop at Best Buy. And they're like, well, do you want to sign for the credit card to get the laptop? I was like, well, you know what? Let's go for it. I don't even know what my credit score was. I didn't have a clue. I wasn't dealing with credit. I wasn't taking care of my credit. I said, go ahead and run it. So we standing there, both of us standing there like it's a slot machine. hoping
and praying it goes through.
Yeah, hoping that 777 comes across the screen and we got it, right? We hit jackpot. So she looked at me, she went, this is how she said it. I promise you. It's not even funny. Wait. She said, okay. Wait, this is how she said it. She said, wait. And then here's the crazy part. I actually had a question for her after she said okay, because I'm thinking, okay, what? Like,
got it?
So this is what happened. Let me reenact it. Hold on. This is how it went. So she's dialing it up boom, on the computer, and she goes, okay. So I'm like, it's looking good. I look at her like, so we good? We good to go? Because I just want the laptop. I'm not even thinking of how I'm gonna be able to pay this thing back. She goes, well, normally. wait. She goes, well, normally if it's approved, I would have got a response by now. So I don't even know. In my ignorance, I'm like, well, you want me to wait around? You want me to see if you want me to come back later? I can come back and see. She's like, no, yeah. So you're not approved. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, what you got?
Plan B.
It was Plan B. Y'all got tablets? What about a tablet? Maybe a little small tablet. Yo, I was so devastated, bro. Like, I felt like I was trying to ask this girl out, and she like dissed me, bro. She curved me, like, no, you're not my type. And so that, the moral of the story is, people, take care of your credit so you're not embarrassed at Best Buy, okay? Because when you thought you was getting a laptop and then you end up walking out with nothing, it's
embarrassing. And then if other people are in line behind you, it's even worse.
As you walk away, they look, oh my God, he didn't get it. Oh, did you want a laptop? Yeah. Oh, bad credit, right? Yeah. You're hoping somebody sympathize. Yeah, I know how it feels, but you got to take care of your credit, black guy. Yeah. People, they're not just going to give you stuff. It's embarrassing.
It is.
You try to leave upset. This place is no good, guys. Don't shop here. They ain't giving people no credit, no laptops, because their credit is bad. It's racist.
It's really racist. So you just have bad credit.
Bro, your credit is jacked up, bro. It had nothing to do with your race. Fix your credit, sir. All right, we're gonna look at one last thing, right? Yes. One last regret, and I think for me, the last regret I would say was not spending more time with my parents as they got older in my 20s. And I thought about this the other night while I was, writing my notes, and I'm like, man, I had access to them. But once again, if I'm spending money, because what it is, my mother moved to Florida. My dad moved to
Pennsylvania.
So I didn't really have, like, I went to Florida a few times, went to Pennsylvania a few times, but there could have been more times, not realizing that they're getting older, you know what I mean? And you need to spend more time with your parents. These are the people that took care of you, these people that raised you, these people that loved on you no matter what you did wrong.
Yes.
And so just spending more time with them, like traveling, saving up my money if I had to, travel to Pennsylvania, spend the night. You know, I definitely spend the night in Florida, but spend the night, you know what I mean? And just, you know, even though they were separated, unfortunately, but just to spend more time with them as they got older. And then my dad got really ill, and he was in the hospital for a long time. And I went up to visit him a few times, but it was like a lot to get up there for me as a 20-year something. I want to hang out, I want to chill, and
it wasn't priority because
it wasn't
one of your friends, you know, they're older, and in your mind, for some reason, when you're young, you think your parents are always going to be there.
Right.
So you think you have time.
Right.
And you don't.
Right.
So you cherish those who are with you, especially your parents, when they're, you know, when you have them, because, as you said, they've done so much for us.
Right.
And they're precious.
Yeah.
Time with them is very, very precious.
Yeah.
You know, we can't go back, right?
Right.
We can only move forward.
Right.
So just don't carry any guilt. You know, forgive yourself and just set a plan in motion.
Right.
And just be better, learn, grow, and become unignorant. Every decision you make, every small decisions you make today will be a big impact in the future.
Right.
So just take small steps. It may feel overwhelming at first, but take small steps and forgive yourself along the way. Right. And when you get to the future, God spares your life, you'll be glad you took the steps today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
That's it.
So keep learning, keep growing, and continue to be unignorant.
Unignorant. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We out.